Hi, this is video 12. Every other video has been about, the structure of the system, uh, this information here, and so on. Um, Please look at the other videos. The last three videos have been very long. I've been talking more than acting, but so you see more of my voice, you hear more of my voice than you see me moving stuff around. But I've been start adding bookings, so I prefer to just adding them time filming because I know how to do it. I'm doing this for you guys, and I hope you enjoy it. So at the first video, at the first booking I'm adding here, I'm already finding something interesting. So uh, I've added a female dorm, which is this one, and there is one female booking here. And I've added a female only booking into mixed dorm because it was allowed because no other male or any other person was in this booking in this room. Um, so one thing that it's interesting to do here, instead of having this guy, this two guys, I'm adding a booking for from the 13th to the 20th, and it's two guys, and it's giving me only this option, right? Because this is a female only room, and this has a booking of somebody who made a booking for female only. This is what this little lock here means. It's a female which made a booking for a female only room. So once you add in this, you can request to move this booking somewhere else. And you have to be very, very careful when you do this because it's literally giving you option for all rooms. Yeah. So this have to be very careful. So I'm gonna put this booking into a female dorm just for the sake of it. It's a female dorm booking, and I'll move it into the female dorm where it should have been before. So another thing that I could do is change this room from female dorm only to male female, and then change this into a female only, which would solve the problem and allow this two guys to be booked up here. So I'm just gonna move her here, and how I do it, I just click on that cross. It's not a cross, but yeah, this X to move into here. And that room that was down here has been moved to up here, and they're both called test 3, but they're different bookings. So now I have these two options for these guys. So as I know I already have a booking uh, here and here, I'm just gonna add them into this room because you know if you can have one room with nobody, it's preferred because then you don't have to clean that room. You just keep your attention to the other room. So, click here, add the price, and I'm gonna walk in. All these things, they're not really requested, but I'm gonna copy this, so I'll be just pasting it. So, I'm gonna add a new booking. I'm just gonna randomly choosing the dates. So I'm gonna from 15 to 18. One guy, one girl. See, it gives me start giving me options. Uh, let's say this is a private room. It's a couple, so they're staying in this room. So I'm gonna add all those things so then later I can I can make some reports, show you how it works. So it's start giving a little shape, especially out here. I'm gonna start making bookings more like in this area. So select here. One guy. Walking. I should use other nationalities. So it's giving me these options for those days. I'll select this one. This last room here, there's one thing that I used to do in my hostel. I just keep it as a temporary one room. It doesn't need to be this one. You can add another one. Just keep as a temporary. This means that the room is never online. I haven't set a price for this. I set prices for every other room. So I keep this as a temporary room, and actually I can even put like a lot more beds if I want. It's when you fully booked and you want to move people around, it's nice to have where to move them to, and then like you move somebody else in the other room, and then you move them back, and so on. I'm gonna keep on adding more bookings, so it's more evident of what I'm trying to do here. Okay, I'm just gonna pause for a while, and every booking I add, I will show you how things get. So I just add one more booking here. I'm gonna go for another one. And when you select the dates, it shows you here how many days they're staying. This number appears as um, you change here and change. So another one. It really doesn't take them long time to add, but it is a job. And you see, you start having some um, more likely. I'm hating using just test instead of people's actual name, but I guess I'm not gonna be, being creative with names right now, and I don't want to use names that I would regret later. All right, so um, here I'm just gonna add this here. I didn't put price. It's okay. Um, so here you start seeing what I'm saying. Like if you see this room only had 2 beds, and that's why it's not offering this booking because there's 3 people here. If I put this 2 people, see, this is what you want. You know, you avoiding a gap. You have a checkout on the 27th, and you have a check-in on the 27th. So this is nice. I'm gonna do a little different though. I'm gonna just put 26 instead. So I can't put here anymore, and I'm gonna move to 3, just to keep as it was more or less. But I just wanted to show how this black line can be helpful, but not necessarily at the booking, adding the booking stage, but later on when you're looking at the whole calendar, it can be handy. It can be quite handy. What field is necessary? Oh, 300. Interesting. I'm finding little bugs here and there, but yeah, very well. There are bugs in the system, so every system has bugs, especially this one. So I'm not really proud of it, but if if you're careful with your property, which you should have been, you'll be fine. So it's interesting that all the bookings are going to be the same. See, this booking here, I put 0 price. So it because the balance, the color of the the name of the text represents the balance. It is related to the balance. This booking is green because it follows into the not arrived and paid. Not because it's paid, it's just because the balance is 0. So it's a booking that hasn't arrived and the balance is 0, pretty much. So some websites they you charge the whole amount before. So this would be the case. So whenever there's booking arrives, or maybe it's some friends of yours, and you're just adding them to the system just to make sure you don't forget about them, but you don't want your staff to charge them. Um, you know, this is a way of doing it as well. So here there's an interesting thing here. So there's 2 checkouts on the 16th, and there's also 2 checkouts here on the 16th in this room, and there's one bed available here, and 6 beds available here in the female dorm. What would you do? I think I would. It depends. Like if it was 5 guys here, this is where consensus comes to place. This is where you use your brain for. If there's 5 guys here and there's a girl making a booking, And despite the fact that she's from Afghanistan, which she could be from anywhere, um, I don't think any girl likes to walk into a room with 6 beds where 5 of them are already occupied and they're occupied by 5 guys. Uh, let's picture the other way around. A guy makes a booking and he's walking into a room with 6 beds and 5 of them are occupied and 5 of them are occupied by girls. I think it's uncomfortable equally. Um, some people would say, yeah, lucky guy, but I think it would be just uncomfortable equally. However, there's 3 guys here, the blue ones, and the pink ones are 2 girls. So I'll be very comfortable to add this girl into this room, and then it's full. Then it's a room that I don't think about anymore for those 2 days. And then here I have 1 bed. So I'm just gonna add here. Um, I don't know if you notice, I have this little button here says add video. And I have this button in several places around around the system. This is for training purposes. Why? Because um, staff for hostels, they're not careers, right? People come and stay and leave, and they're working for a short period of time, so you have a lot to teach the people who's working in your desk, and it's hard for them to remember everything, and it's even as hard for us to know everything that you would need to tell them. A lot of things we say, come on, this is common sense, right? Well, what do we say about common sense? It's not common. So, so you know, let's. I'm gonna move this here. So when you add, so let's say, how do you do this? You click here to add a video. Um, video name, how to add a minimum stay. It's just an example. So you just add here your own video and you linked on YouTube. Once you start adding videos here, you will create another link here. It says videos. As soon as you add one, you will create it. So you just go everywhere you want. So let's say here, bed price. Let's see if I have here. I'm not gonna have booking page. Nope. Now that I need it, uh, nowhere. No. Um, it's not. It's something that I haven't finished yet, so that's why it's not. And I'm glad it's not. I just remember I was doing some tests here, how to add a booking, because this is what your receptionist will be doing, right? They're gonna be adding booking. So imagine you told them how to do it and every place has a specific way of how you check in, how you do checkouts, how you show the property to the guests. Sometimes you just show the room and let the guests figure out. Sometimes you do a tour around. So this is for hostel administrators to come here and add a link to this page, and then you can just it takes you to our Vimeo. You make a little description and you put the URL, and that's it. It's active, yes or not. That's it. So you can add a video, and then, oh, this is not so good, or you get somebody else to make a better video for you, or um, I don't know, you decide you don't like the way you're doing, you want to do some other way. So just come and change. But yeah, it's so let's say you tell the new staff this is how you do it, and then they go and they do it, and they they get it right, and you think everything is fine, and then the next thing you see, it's like, oh shit, he made a mistake. Or even um but it's not the it's not the guest, it's not the staff mistake. It's like, you make mistakes, you just make mistakes. So what if you tell them, look, if you have any doubts, there's a video. If you keep on having doubts after the video, um don't do it. I guess this is the simple magic of saying no. um it's nice to be able to say no. I think this is one thing that we're focusing on nowadays. um it's like that no means no thing. um it's not just for one of our kinds that no means no's means no. It's for everyone. When it comes to work, um yes has to mean yes, therefore no has to mean no. People have to know that they are allowed to say no. I'm not comfortable, I'm not doing it. That's it. So try to teach people without expecting that they would do right just because you taught them. I guess this is the key here. And if they do a mistake, you know it's part of your mistake as well, your manager. Because in the end, who's dealing with the problems, right? So avoiding the problems is the best. All right, I'm gonna add one more booking, and then I'm gonna start to move some stuff around. I don't know which days. All right, let's see what we got so far. I had a bunch of bookings. It didn't take me too long, but let's see. All right, so this is what we have now. We have a busy weekend, and what do we do from here? You can move people around if you want. If you think that you can have a better display, you can move. This is not a female dorm, so let's say you got if you start getting. I'm gonna add some bookings here actually. Around those days of female dorm. Let's see. Mm, all right. So I'm gonna do this quick thing and then I'm gonna end this video because then I wanna do something about cashier. All right. Right, I'm gonna add one more booking. It's gonna be a female only, just because I think I'm missing it for the example I want. No, that's not where I want it. Okay, so I'm creating a artificial situation here, but it's very like you might be like, oh shit, this is going like it's not going on straight lines, and trust me, it's it's not that important. I've seen some PMS system, and it has to be on a straight line. It doesn't. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter because the positions they are here represents the ones who's on top was the last modified. So whatever is modified, if I click here and I change anything, so I change this, right? Then I refresh and it add to the history and everything that I updated. I put a little dot. So see, oh no, just when you add new ones. Okay, doesn't matter. Sorry for that. Anyways, you look at let's say you wanna see when they arrive, where they are exactly in the room. The system will not uh, precisely tell you where they are in the room unless you tell the system to tell you where they are. And this you can do. Here you have bed. So bed number. So bed numbers go from 1 to 6 because this room has 6 rooms, 6 beds. So let's say you on bed number 4. Save. And the other one's on bed number 3. And you have here 3 and 4, and this is what you should know. This is the only thing that will actually matter in the end, because it doesn't matter where they are, where you see them. You just need to see them, and that's why I have this highlight. It shows you where it is. And I'm gonna do something a little more extravagant here. Let's see. What days is it? 14. Okay. So let's say these 2 guys arrived and they say, "Oh, we have 2 friends we met in Amsterdam, and they're coming here. Do you have a place for them?" And like, "Yeah, I do, but not on that room." So let's say, are they girls? Yes. Or are they boy or girl? One boy, one girl. Okay, so I can do in other rooms. So let's say they're staying, but not on the same day. They're coming later. So these people arrive on the 13th. This arrive on the 14th. And so I just look here. Where do I have a bed available on the 14th? And despite the fact that I do have beds on the 14th, then the next days I have to move them to another room, right? So what's nicer to do? Just put them in another room if I have beds. So let's say I'll add them to the female dorm. Which is room, what's female dorm? Room 1. And you add the price, like 35. So then you add it to this booking, right? And how do you see it? Look, it's right there. Task 4. It highlights it. And also, if somebody is extending, let's say let's say this 2 here, they want to extend, but it's booked out. So where do I have a bed for them? It's a guy and a girl, and I have one bed. I have beds on the female dorm, and I have a bed here. So what do? I click here and I add the test male from the 16th to the 17th on room 6. You pay 40. Add rules to overbooking. Rules of overbooking. 16 to 17. Okay, let's try again. Is it overbooked? Oh, okay. I was doing the wrong room. Sorry. So, add guest. 16 to 17 on the last room. 35, and then add guest, test 2, 16 to 17 on room 1. So there's one important thing which is called a responsible guest, which is this test. And there's all this people here. This is what you see in the calendar. The calendar is represented from the information in here. So the responsible guest is the name that you see there. You don't see test 2, test 2. You just see test because this is the. If I change this to test, what you're gonna see there is gonna be test. If you refresh here, the responsible guest now is this one, so you know who it is. Why do you need a responsible guest? Because somebody has to be responsible for the payment, and that's the responsible guest. So let's see how this looks now. You see I have one person came here, one here, but they're linked to this one. All right. So this is a little something that I have, and it's it helps out. So this booking has one person for 3 nights in one room and 2 people for another 6, 7 nights in the other room. But they're together. They're on the same booking. I like to show this thing here: check in, check out. So this is for the people who are working with your cleaning. It can be really nice because they can see which rooms they have to clean. So this is all check-in, and there's no check-outs in this day. And so it shows 3 days. Whatever you select here will be the first. So let's say the 14th. See, you can predict the next 3 days more or less. So it's separated by color. So on room 6, you have, on the 16th, you have 3 check-ins and 2 check-outs. But after the check-in, you will have the bed number. So the bed number will be shown here. So if you go bed number 3 and 4 is already occupied, except for the last day, because this is the room that I added already. Save bed number 5 and bed number 6. And why is it not showing the other booking that had the bed numbers? Because they're not checking in or checking out today and this day. So there you go. So your whoever is responsible for the cleaning needs to know this. Or actually, they need to know this. They only need the first day. This is for planning. This is for managing. You tell your cleaner to come then on the 16th, some hours earlier, because there's a lot of check-ins and a lot of check-outs. Whatever you manage it. But here's the information. All right, so this is a very long video already, and I'm sorry for this, but I'm having fun doing it. I hope it's information you can take in.